This week, in part 2 of my Port Albert special, we pinched my brother's boat again, but this time
we're going offshore because we're chasing gummy sharks.
At first, we catch everything but gummies.
We're on the right ground, wrong species.
And I try to start a band.
Bow, 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 bow. Bow, 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 bow.
The fans below are clearly not impressed, but as usual, Auds is playing the right key and delivers the goods.
Yep, gummy. Good one,
Gummy.
good one.
Good gummy, look at that!
Fishing is my life. It's in my DNA. From above the water and below the surface. It's who I am. Join me as I travel the world in search of the most insane fishing experiences on the planet.
You got it.
Oh, yeah!
Big fish right there, Al.
Yeah, baby! How funny is that? Look at the size of it. Ah, yeah! Oh, man, that is so good.
Nice job.
I'm McGlashan, and this is Fishing with Baits. Previously, we came down to Melbourne to pick up my new boat.
It just looks like an absolute weapon.
But the North Bank wasn't quite ready.
I may have got my days mixed up.
So we headed to Port Albert to see my brother Stu
We've come down to see the family.
and maybe borrow his boat.
Right, see the family and the boat.
So we were off to catch our bait, beach worms.
Like, this is crazy.
Then we headed out to fish for King George whiting, one of the best eating fish in the world.
Look at that to start, huh?
That's a good whiting.
And we caught heaps
Dad, hang on, I gotta chuck my huge one.
and lost one. And between the three of us, ended up with nearly 40 fish for the day,
Look at that.
Oh, well done.
which my brother Stu turned into a beautiful whiting curry.
Good curry. It's beautiful.
Tomorrow, we're headed back to Melbourne to collect my brand new North Bank.
Now, we're meant to be going home, right? Because the boat's ready. The North Bank is ready to go.
But here's my issue. The North Bank is in Melbourne, and we're still at my brother Stu's place down here in Port Albert. It's a 3-hour drive to pick up the boat. Plus, I still need to get it registered and all that stuff. And down here in Port Albert, it's a beautiful day. Perfect for fishing.
We're fishermen. You can't leave a good day behind. You're at Port Albert. It's a pretty windy place down here. It's like Western Australia. It blows and blows and blows.
But not today. Today, it's dead flat.
Coops is like, Dad, are we going? I'm like, yep, we're doing it. We're not picking the boat up today. We're picking up tomorrow. We're going fishing today. Oh, one thing. Stu, can we borrow your boat? I don't actually know whether he said yes or no.
That doesn't stop them. They just grab Stu's boat and off we go.
Come on, let's go. Get in the boat. Let's go, let's go, let's go. We put the boat in the water. We've done the whiting. We'll go and give the offshore a go because, you know, like I thought we were going to go home. I thought the boat would be ready, but, you know, and now look at it. Look at the weather. It's bloody awesome. And it's nice and calm. And this time, instead of fishing inside, we're going offshore because we're chasing gummy sharks. A lot of people go, you're not shark fishing, are you? But you know what? Gummy sharks are flake. So you know everyone loves flake. You've been to the fish and chip shop and you get that flake. It's gummy shark or school shark, and they are delicious. So we're running down the estuary. It's beautiful. You know, you've got all these gutters and mud banks and islands.
I'm just absolutely amazed at what I'm looking at, the flats and the country that's around here. It's spectacular.
Wind in through, you've got little tight channels, swing around past the islands and start swinging offshore because we've got a spot. Now, what's really interesting, when we were down here last time, we marked a bit of reef in the middle of nowhere. And I gave Stu the marks and said, this is the spot. Well, it was on the GPS. And he's been catching gummy sharks off it non-stop. So we've gone straight to this spot. As we're coming up, we've got Faruna set up. I've got it so it's a full screen. As we're coming, there's bait showing everywhere. The good thing about this is your Farino's showing you all the bottom structure, which is paramount to what we're doing. Because gummy sharks are they're a bottom feeder, but they like gravel, they like rubble, that sort of stuff where they can feed on prawns and shrimps and scavenge, basically. And I tell you what, there's a bit of bait showing down there. And then I reckon we're going to sit right there. And now we'll put the burley bomb down. And you know the best part? We're going to put a camera on the burley bomb so we can see what's going on. So we pulled up, put the anchor down, we set up, burley bomb down.
Awesome.
Put that camera on.
Camera's already on, Dad. I'm all organised.
Look out the front for birds.
There we go. It is recording. There we go. Down it goes.
So we start fishing. We're straight into it. Coops, of course, has holds the hot spot behind the burley bomb. And you know what? Straight on. He's hooked up.
Oh, here we go.
Screaming off.
Move it up, move it up. Quick, quick, quick.
It's gone all through the other line. So we lift you up. Odds I moved all the other rods.
Oh, that.
Yep.
Cheers. I was sitting there going, I don't think this is a gummy. And if it is, it's a big one.
Now, you should get excited because it screams off. But if you don't get a head shake, it means one thing. Oh, eagle ray. Dirty, big eagle ray. Which a big sort of bat ray, which is like that big. It's massive. Or it could just be a massive gummy that doesn't fight right.
I was hoping it was a gummy.
Having fun, Coops?
Oh, that salada's gone down wrong.
He hooked this thing up.
There he is.
Big brown. Big shade of brown. Look at him.
Is he going to go around the boat?
Then he's disappeared around the front of the boat.
He's going around. He's on the other side of the boat now.
Under the anchor, over the anchor. Then he's come back down.
All just for an eagle ray. Gave him a good workout, though.
He's just the feisty one.
Brought the burley bomb up, so got that out of the way.
Here he is.
They're such beautiful fish. Finally let this big, beautiful eagle ray go. Just gonna do it, cut him off so it doesn't hurt him too much. Aren't they beautiful fish? There you
The
go.
hook will eventually fall off.
Ah, he'll just
It won't
get
hurt
rid
him
of it.
too much.
Look at him just cruising out. All right, well done, Coops. You're on the right ground, wrong species.
Coming up,
Gummy, gummy.
Odds opens the account.
This was the real deal.
I got to stand over the back and just sit over here on my own. This is Fishing with Mates.
We're fishing offshore in pursuit of the delicious gummy shark. Now, Coops has started things off with the wrong species, stubborn eagle ray, and Odds has seen a rod go off.
Guess what? What was the girl to do? Had to grab it.
Could be a really big gummy, maybe.
I'm going to say PJ.
Species.
Now, I'm going to go big grey saucepan. Foul hook banjo, is it?
And it was a banjo shark.
Oh, right, he's going off.
Al stepped up. He decided he'd get the banjo shark off for me.
All right, not the most desirable species. This is a banjo shark or a fiddler ray. A lot of guys just crack the sads over it, but you know what? They're part of the ecosystem. Look at them, such cool little creatures. And the best thing, they're great to tune. Bow, 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 bow. Bow, 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 bow.
I felt very sorry for the actual banjo shark because he had to play it like a banjo.
And he just swims off like... Dun, dun, dun. Look at that, just goes back down the bottom. So, let him go unharmed. We need something to harm. It's going to be gummy. Oh, that sounds bad, doesn't it? I'm thinking about my stomach. Oh, come on.
There's a lot to think about then.
Oh.
Rude. Anyways,
We're getting a whole pile of banjo sharks. That's a skill.
and just to show Coops what a talented dad he has,
Every banjo got to tune up before I let it go. Every one I bring up, I'm like... I did it to the left, I did the right.
And he did the same thing with the next one. And the next one.
Please don't.
You'd think it's a bit of a myth. Dad jokes can't be that bad. Al takes it to a whole new level.
Hey, Coops, look at this. Suck to the back. I don't think Coops appreciates my dad jokes. Is it really immature that I keep doing that?
Some people may think, oh, Al McGlashan, you know, it'd be great to be his son, you know, it'd be great to be friends with him. But it's not. This is the person I have to live with.
I thought it was funny.
And I'm sitting there, like, having to watch my own dad play a fish.
Oh, it's... Look at that. Oh, that was lovely. I was absolutely killing myself. I thought it was so funny. Man, she swam down pretty quick.
I wonder why.
And even Odds was actually by then just going, this boat's not big enough for all of us anymore. But did it stop me? Not a chance. Rightio, we're catching a few fish. We're just waiting for the good ones. So Coops has started off. We've started catching a few banjo sharks. Auds a bit quiet in the corner. You on, Auds? And all of a sudden she hooked up.
Oh, good head shakes.
When you hook a gummy shark, it's like head shakes, because they're like that, you know, like sharks do it a lot. You can pick it a mile away.
Just bring it around, let's see if it's tangled.
Oh, you're way under. Come around the back for us.
Oh, yeah.
Gummy. That's what we wanted to see. Only a little guy, but it's still a gummy.
This was the real deal.
Coops is straight onto it. He's gone and grabbed the neck.
He's under the boat.
Bring him around, Auds.
This gummy's coming up. It's a nice size. It's going to make some beautiful, sweet fillets.
Bring him in, just guide him in.
That's a gummy!
Coops has done the perfect shot there, scooped it up. I had to stand over the back and just sit over here on my own. Like, yeah, don't worry. Beautiful gummy, a metre and a bit long.
There we go.
Perfect eating fish. Absolutely perfect. Whoop. They're bloody tough little buggers. Down here in Victoria, this is flake. This is what everyone does.
The best tasting fish on earth.
It is unreal.
Nice
So
again.
all the fish and chip shops, the genuine one, look at Coops is just looking at the rods, just making sure. And that's a good, respectable little fish. And you can see there that there's absolutely no teeth, hence why they call them gummy. All right, I'll go and prepare this one for dinner. You can go catch another one. Come here, buddy. You and me have got a job to do.
Do you want me to do it, or?
You can do it. And I've got to say, that was a proud dad moment. This fish has been processed, and you know what? It's vital with fishing. We didn't know when we were young to look after them this way, not because we didn't respect them, we just didn't know how to look after them. But now, you know, everything's done perfectly.
Coming up, the sharks are on the boat.
Doing the gummy thing.
But not quite the sharks we came here for.
No way! A little hammerhead!
This is Fishing with Mates. While Coops was processing the gummy shark that Auds caught, I got another banjo shark. And now the birds have shown up to get their lunch.
So there you go, part of the system. All the birds eat the leftovers that we've just gutted out of that gummy, and we've got the whiting frames for burley. So you're really sort of minimising your impact. You're not buying anything, and you're letting, oh, this guy wants to go, and you're letting these guys go. There you go, buddy. Coops is cleaning gummy, and old banjo, straight to the bottom. But you get, you know, banjos and you get eagle rays, you're in good gummy terrain. All we need now is a bigger gummy. That's all we really need.
All right, there we go. That's all cleaned. So, Dad, that's definitely all right. I'm just making one
Oh,
double.
perfect, mate, 100%.
Put him straight on ice, keep him as fresh as possible. There we go. Now,
Need a bigger one.
yeah.
So we were catching quite a number of species. The boys were bringing in everything they possibly could other than gummies.
Doing the gummy thing.
All of a sudden, my rod, you know, it's going slack.
Oh, a little bit of head shakes, or am I just optimistic?
It's not head shakes. I was thinking Eagle Ray's picked it up and hooked himself and raced off.
Just lift that rod up, point the rod at him, point the rod so you're under.
And it's just fangled all the gear, come back up and went, oh. Oh, it's a hammerhead. Hammerhead. It's a little hammerhead.
Just a little hammerhead, but a hammerhead.
No way! A little hammerhead!
How cool's that?
A hammerhead. Just a little pup. You got to obviously be a little bit more gentle with these because you don't want to get bitten as well. It's a bit easier than the rest of the ones we've got.
Never caught a hammer before.
His first one, which is kind of cool. Look at that. What a beautiful little creature. I'm only going to let it go, but I love catching new species.
First hammerhead I've seen up close.
First hammerhead.
Look at the
No
eyes.
way. Look at that. What a great little fish. So they must be breeding down here or like spawning down here or popping them out or carp. What do they call it? Pupping. They must be pupping down here.
Look at the teeth on them though. Razor sharp, tiny, but I don't think you'd want your hand caught in there.
It's only a little one. It's only that big. So we unhooked it. We watched this little guy snake off.
There he goes.
How cool is that? The funny thing is, they've got the eyes on the side of their head, right? Oh, ran into the wire. It swam off straight into the belly bum wire. Oh, and swims off the right way. Where did it go? Maybe evolution didn't work too well with them with the eyes on the side of the head, eh? Maybe they need to come round a bit more. Just have a look at that Faruno now and see how much bait and stuff's going on the bottom there. Like, look at it, it's stacked. There's all types of stuff. All because you got a burley bomb on the bottom, which we'll check in the camera. Of course, we've got a camera on that. Make sure I'm recording. Yep, dropping down. And one thing we've found We always thought you fish on gravel, and it often shows on the sounder it looks like gravel, there's lots of bait on it. When we started putting the camera down on the burley bomb, we're not. We're on sand. And there's bait everywhere. And you can see the bait, how it sits on the bottom. If there's bait, there are fish. So you're in 17, 20 metres of water here, and it's crystal clear on the bottom. And we've seen all types of fish down here, from eagle rays to banjo sharks.
Pretty sure this one heard I was getting the band back together. Now there's also yakkers, tons of yakkers, flathead, yank flathead. Oh, if you look up, there's Coops' hammerhead. Then we've got Port Jackson sharks coming to check things out. We also saw a squid under there. Like, how amazing is this?
Like all these different species all coming in because of the burley bomb. And it's the same thing as when we're fishing for whiting.
When we were in the estuaries fighting for whiting, the terrain was a bit different, but it was so cool to see the amount of life down there. Some of them are camera shy, some of them really want to be on TV, some of them are camouflaged so well you don't realise until they move, and some of them are about to explode from excitement from seeing the burley bomb. But in all seriousness,
the burley attracts the fish, they come up, because you're on anchor obviously, and then of course they see your baits and you start catching them. And now it's a waiting game.
coming up,
we just need a big gummy to top it off.
This is, I think that's the right stuff.
this is Fishing with Mates. So we've had a semi-productive day trying to catch some gummy sharks out here on the Victorian coast.
So we keep catching banjos, we catch a few Port Jacksons, PJs.
Coops brought up a Port Jackson shark and we caught the hook up on the burley bomb camera below.
So that's a Port Jackson.
Cute little things. No, it's not what we want.
Not many flathead, which is, you know, normally we get a few flathead, and interestingly on the camera we saw quite a few flathead, some bigger ones stealing the bait and fighting with the baits over them. But we didn't get many flathead. But then I've hooked up. What have I got? Oh, have I got a gummy? A hammer! Another hammer! And I've caught my hammerhead. Look at it! It's even smaller! Now, you know how I said Coops is small? I need to learn to keep my mouth shut. Oh my God! Coops is, you know, little pup. Look at the size of that! Well, mine had basically just been born. It's like... and it's so cute. Coops! It's not as big as...
Let's see how big it is. Oh. This thing's tiny.
Yeah, look at that. I'm going to hold up. It was really cute. And it's kind of cool because I love catching new species. It's all right. So we let that go. Look at him go. And you know what? You've had a really good day. We just need a big gummy to top it off. Like a really big one.
Odds. I think that's the right stuff.
And the rod just goes... There you go, Auds over there.
I've gone racing over and grabbed it.
And of course it's Auds again. She's done it again.
There's noise to check.
Nothing. Auds is hooked up and it's so heavy. I don't know, I'm 50-50 on this one. Could be wrapped up a bit, could be anything, you know. There's just that solid weight and you're a bit like, ooh. Auds was a bit nervous, I was a bit nervous. I love this bit of it, you know, it's like, what is it? Is it gonna be brown or is it silver? Auds is really struggling on this fish. This is a solid fish.
I reckon it's the right stuff.
Coops called it straight away as a gummy.
I'm thinking, we'll wait and see.
Moving around, right? Where are you, Auds? Keep running, keep running.
Boat.
It's gone under the boat, so we haven't seen it. Coops is confident. Come on, it's coming out.
Yep, gummy. Good one.
Good gummy, look at that. It's a gummy, all right. It's a bloody big gummy. This thing would keep the fish and chip industry going for 10 years on its own. Look at the size of it. Oh, maybe not 10 years. Oh, that's a good gummy. That is a good gummy. It doesn't fit in this massive net. It's like...
Oh, God, I need a bit of help lifting that thing up.
Drag it into the boat. Now, Auds is a bit quietly spoken. Well, I tell you what, Coops and I are hollering for her. Don't you worry about it. Like, oh, look at the size of it. Oh, it's a beauty. Oh, yeah.
And it was massive. It was impressive.
Oh, Jesus Christ, he's a big fish. How's the strength?
It's solid. Like, it's almost like a brick. So I've went to lift this thing up, and all of a sudden it's just started kicking. It was flinging me around like I was nothing.
Hold the head.
There we go.
Oh, look at the wall.
Now, 3 of us are holding this fish. We can't even hold it.
You know how you normally hold a fish really neatly and tidily? Look at us, we're like, hold on to it, hold on to it. Look at the size of it. Oh,
They really are beautiful.
And I'm looking at this beautiful fish, and I'm like, we've got it, Gummy. It's a big girl. Let's let her go.
this is a family debate now. What would you like to do? What? Keep him and eat him?
I'm happy to let him go.
Oh. After hearing that gasp, I knew this big girl's ready to go back home.
So did Auds and Coops. They both looked at it going, oh, how good is that? Coops goes, I'll let it go.
Oh, what a beautiful girl.
We put this big girl in, and she sits there. We just hold her for a second, and then she just goes, swims down, and they do that snaking movement.
And for a second, we thought we'd almost lost her.
What the? No. Oh, no, there it is. Oh, I was a bit nervous for a minute.
There he goes.
This is what fishing with mates is all about. Catching fish, letting some go, because in the future, I want to come back here to Port Albert and catch a whole lot more gummy sharks.
I can't believe no one's out here.
Oh, there's a boat coming up now.
Have you got a permit for this? Have you got a permit for those rats?
Small little, God, what are the swivels? I can't remember what they are.
Oh, small little swivel. Let's start again.
You know when I say that Coops caught... Oh, your light's gone.
It's 3 inches.
Oh, it's that. It's not very big. Theo, make sure you put that in. It was that big. It is that big.